Another wonderful backward bending pose. Earlier, we did the bow pose, Dhanurasana, but there's a wonderful posture, the raised bow pose, Utitadhanasana, which has many benefits like all the backward bending benefits, except it also serves to release tension in the lower back especially well. So let's do this now. Come to the hands and knees, please. The hands are directly under the shoulders with the fingers spread, and the knees are a little extra wide apart. You want the diagonal from the front hand to the opposite knee to be pretty wide, because it's that diagonal that gives you the ability to balance in this posture. If the knees are too close together, you'll find it difficult to balance. So separate the knees a little extra wide. And there's a number of approaches on how to go into this. We're going to show you the simplest way right now, and then we'll show you another way. So first, go ahead, take the right foot and put it over the top of the left knee. Then take the left hand, slide it underneath the foot, and take hold. Other side. You're just too limber. So now, push that foot back and pull up with the arm, press into the hand in front. And as you push the foot back, you pull up. And that pulling up and pushing the foot back work together to release the lower back. Breathe into it, another important element. The breath plays a huge role. Now please go ahead and put the hand down in front, and we'll do a little bit of extra work here. Tuck the chin and bring the knee up toward the forehead, round the back to release, and then stretch the leg back and up, sort of a version of the half locust there. And then shake it loose and put the knee down. Remember, the knees are a little extra wide apart for balance sake. Now take the left foot over the back of the right knee, slide the right hand underneath and take hold. Just demonstrate for them, even though it's better for you the other way, but for most people this is better. You can change it when you get up. Thanks, Parvati. Go ahead, push the foot back, pull up, go ahead, switch sides, get comfy. Push back, pull up, press into the palm in front, breathe into it. This is the raised bow pose, Utitadhanasana. Remember, pushing the foot back and pulling the arm up and breathing into it, all three of those things work together to release the tensions in the lower back. And now bring the hand down, tuck the chin, bring the knee up toward the forehead, round the back with a nice breath, and then continue breathing as you stretch the leg back and up, shake loose, and once again, you could release into the child's pose if you want, but don't right now, because we're going to show the other approach to going into it. Another approach to going into this would be to stretch the left arm out front and the right leg back, and then bend the knee and reach back and take hold. Push back and pull up. And gently down. We're just going to go down. We could do the same game, but just for time's sake, we'll do it that way. So again, now the right arm forward, left leg back, stretch long, and then bend the knee, reach back and take hold. So in the bow pose, you hold on to the ankle or shin, not the foot. But in the raised bow pose, you hold on to the foot itself. Breathe with it and gently down. And get comfortable however you'd like. Now you could do the child's pose if you'd enjoy that, to release and settle afterwards. All right. So a few other backward bending poses which are really wonderful and appreciated by many. Please lie down on the back. And we're going to do what's known as the bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. The name actually means bridge pose out of the shoulder stand. We haven't done the shoulder stand yet, and most people don't approach this out of the shoulder stand. But just for a moment, let's show you why it's called that. Would you mind, Parvati, coming up into shoulder stand for a moment? We'll talk about this in a later series, doing the shoulder stand and how to approach it safely and hang out in it comfortably. And now, to move into this from the shoulder stand, you turn the hands so the thumb is on the back, fingers on the waist, both hands, and then you bend one knee toward the head and the other knee down toward the floor. And then the one foot follows the other, and then you reach the arms down to interlock the fingers and squeeze the arms together. Some people like to hold the ankles. This is the bridge pose coming out of shoulder stand. So right now, let go, and please lower the back down. Hug the knees to release the back, lift the head, take a breath. And now we'll go into it the way we were planning on it. So a nice way to go into this pose is to simply bend the knees and bring the feet in close to the buttocks, but separate them as wide apart as the outer edge of the hips. Not too close together, a little further out, so that if you were to slide your hand down the side of the hip, your fingertips would hit the heel. And then if you have long hair, you sweep it out from behind the shoulders and back of the head, clear the throat, reach your hands down toward the feet, and the palms can just be on the floor. Some people, if you're touching the feet, find they really enjoy holding onto the ankles, wrapping the fingers around the ankles. You're welcome to do that. Otherwise, just press into the heels and lift the hips up high. Tighten the buttocks a little, and then interlock the fingers and squeeze the shoulder blades together. This both protects the back, supports the arch, creates an energetic connection so that more energy flows in the posture. You're pressing through the heels. Remember, a steady, comfortable effort. The hips are pressing up. The breath is helping to expand everything. It's a wonderful pose. To put the hands is on the buttocks and press up through the elbows. And many people find this support very useful to help in the pose. You're welcome to do that as well. Okay, now arms down, hands down, and lower the back gently. First, just shake the legs loose and stretch them out. And then hug the knees for a moment to release the back, lift the head, tuck the chin, take a deep breath, and let go. So what we're about to do is called Chakrasana, the wheel pose. And you may find that it will take a few times of just trying it before your body's ready to move into it. But once you get into this pose, you'll find it such an exquisite stretch. One of the favorite of all the backward bends. People who get their body doing this love to do this and include it in their practice. It's such a great expansion for everything. Once again, you may find that Parvati does it very limberly, and your body may not go to the same place her body does. That's okay. So, to prepare for the wheel pose, go ahead and bend the knees again. Bring them in, feet close to the buttocks. Clear the hair to start. And now, this time you're going to put the hands next to the head. Fingers pointing away from the shoulders, fingers pointing toward the shoulders with the palms down. And then you could press up into stages. You could press up and put the top of the head on the floor and then press up further. Or you can do it like Parvati, just presses up and then walks things closer together. This is a beautiful pose right here. You're pressing through the heels, you're pressing through the palms, you're breathing into it, and the body's arching so beautifully. Parvati likes to bring things, the hands and feet, quite close, as you can tell. She's not just doing this because she can, she's doing it because she likes to do it. It feels good for her body. Remember that. You do what feels good for your body. Now to come out, you go ahead. Oh, she's still doing some variations here. It feels good for her body. To come out, you lower the shoulders down, tucking the chin into the chest. Lower the back down and stretch out the legs. Shake loose, and once again you might hug the legs and roll around a little or take a deep breath to release the back, and then Shavasana, the corpse pose. Blah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So, we're going to show you a variation that will help to get you established when you're doing boat pose and bow pose, established on the abdomen rather than the pubic region. So please lie on the abdomen here. And we're going to do half boat, half bow. When you do this, almost everyone finds that they're resting in just the perfect place and they don't settle into the pubic region, but they rest on the abdomen. So it's good to get a sense of that. So to do this, go ahead and bend the right leg and bring the right hand back and take hold of the ankle. Again, it's okay to bring the knee out if you need to move the hand off the foot onto the ankle. And then extend the left arm out front, and the left leg stays back. And now lift up both halves of the body. Lift both legs up, push the foot back into the, push the leg back into the hand, pull up, and find that you're resting on the abdomen. Breathe with it. And gently down, forehead down, knee down. And let go. And we'll do the other side now. Bend the left leg, take hold with the left hand, move the hand off the foot, stretch the right arm forward, lift up both halves of the body, push the leg back, pull up with the arm. Find yourself resting on the abdominal region more than the pubic region. Each breath, lengthening and lifting. And gently down, forehead down. And we'll show you one other thing which isn't necessarily a backward bending posture, but it's a beautiful stretch which you'll benefit from. So go ahead, bend the knees as if you were finishing up the bow pose, and take your hands and place them on the tops of the feet near the toes. And you're going to keep the knees together, but separate the feet as wide apart as the outside to the hips, and then push the hands down, push the feet toward the floor next to the hips. It's okay if the head comes off the floor a little bit for this. Some people like to look forward while they do this. It's a wonderful stretch. You'll have to try it and see what it feels like. It's really wonderful. And then let go. If you lifted the head, tuck the chin again, and then turn the head to one side and release once again into Advasana. Elbows a little bent, shoulders soft, fingers soft, heels falling in or out. And the breath, releasing with each breath, releasing a little more. Please do take some time after the backward bending postures and the triggering of the adrenal glands to take some breaths. When you're doing these what most people would call resting postures, it's important to understand that you're not merely resting. Even when you sleep at night, the body's not just resting. It's when the body gets to do its cleansing and its building, its healing, it's transforming. That happens during these times when we let the body have the space to continue. You'll also find when you're resting that the work of the posture you were just doing is still going on inside. It's still doing its work, and giving it a little extra time is really useful, especially when you're new in your yoga practice, because you may not find that you're spending too long in each posture. You may be doing it for 5 or 10 or 15 seconds, not for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And so when you take a little time afterwards, the posture started some work and you just rest and that work continues for you. You give the posture time to continue serving you. So it's very useful to spend a little time between the postures, especially after these backward bending, after most postures, giving them time to do their work for you, either by hanging out in the posture, asana, or resting a little bit after the posture. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy your practice. We hope you've enjoyed these backward bending postures. Remember, whenever doing any of these postures, you only want to do what's comfortable for you. We want you to practice regularly, steadily, and you do some of these postures, find what works for you, and sometimes work on the postures that don't work for you. But take it easy, be gentle. Okay, have a lot of fun. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to knowledge of immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Bless all dimensions of being with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to that light of truth which overcomes all darkness.
Victory to that light.
Jai Sri Sadguru Maharaj Ki.
Jai.
Please bow to the light in yourself. And bow to the very same light in everyone and everything. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Practice. Have fun with your yoga. All love.